Hey, everybody. Welcome to the National Signing Day podcast. I'm your host, Coach Martin. Super pumped about getting into this episode right here. So this is a good one. So I remember a while back, I watched this clip on an NCAA coach, and basically she gave gold. So we're going to give you the gold today. So basically the title of this episode is Valuable Lessons from an NCAA College Coach. So in this case, I don't remember her name. Basically, she was an NCAA coach. I think she was new to the program from my understanding. I believe she was a basketball coach. And there was a player that was on her board that she was, they were scouting. So they were definitely interested. If you're on the college boards, that's a huge plus. That's where you want to be. So this person made it to the board. The coach was actually scouting. So then the coach decided to go to a game and watch her play. But the coach did something a little bit different. So the coach looked at her schedule and selected a game where they knew that the team was going to just blow out the other team, right? So everyone's like, well, why would you do that? So she had a reason for it. So she goes to the game. She shows up incognito, doesn't tell anyone, doesn't tell the high school coach. She just basically kind of slips in, shows up at this game, and she knows that the player that she's scouting, their team is going to just blow out this other team. So and they do right away. Obviously, it's out of reach, pretty quick. But the purpose of her going to this game is there was multiple reasons. One, she wanted to see how this player acted. How did she act before game? How did she act during warm-ups? How did she act during the game? And then she got pulled because they were winning by so much. They had the backups in. So this is where it really gets good. She wanted to know how the player acted and reacted while she was on the bench. Did she engage with her teammates? Is she cheering on the second string players that are out there now playing, right? She wants to know, how does she do well, when the game's out of line? Or is she just a player where she's not even paying attention? She's not rooting her teammates on. She's not cheering them on. She's kind of just doing her own deal. And then she also wanted to see how she acted after the game was over, right? Was she a good sport? How did she interact with her coaches? How did she interact with her parents when her parents came down from the stand? So you might be thinking, well, what does that matter? As long as she's a good athlete, she should be able to get recruited and she should be able to play. But a coach isn't just recruiting you for your talent, because there's going to be times where you're not always winning. There's going to be a time where maybe you go on a losing streak, right? And it's important to be able to get the right people with the right character, right, that are going to help you get out of that losing streak so, quicker than not. So for this coach, it was important to find out what this girl was really made of, not just how she does on the court, but how does she do off the court? How does she do when she's on the bench? How does she do with her teammates? Just, she wanted to know how to be able to do that. And it was a valuable lesson. I never really thought of it from that perspective before, but I think what this coach did was gold, and it just makes sense. And maybe you're thinking right now to yourself, well, like I said, it really doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters to these coaches because they want to have somebody that's going to be in it to win it. Not just talent, but character. You got to have character. Another thing I always tell, individuals, especially athletes, right, is, what does your social media look like? So when I go and I speak in high schools all over the place, I always bring this up. So what does your social media look like? Because here's the deal. Don't let 144 characters keep you from a $100,000 scholarship. And that happens all the time. So you may have the talent, but then if a coach goes to your social media and they see that you have poor character, that character is going to translate, right? It's going to translate in the locker room. It's going to translate on the practice field. It's going to translate on the court or on the field. Coaches don't want that. It's an investment, and they want a return on their investment. It's not just about your talent. It's more than that. So if your social media is out of control, you need to clean it up, right? Take a look at it. If you maybe you just don't even really know, I would encourage you to have somebody look at it for you with another set of eyes. So you're going to want to clean it up. And finally, I'm going to go with number 3. Number 3 is, your metrics. Your metrics, your height, your weight, your bench, how fast you run the 40. Here's the deal. These colleges are used to, this is one of the reasons the transfer portal is so popular, because now they could go in their transfer portal and get somebody super quick. Whereas maybe if I deal with 20 high school athletes, 19 of them lied about their height. They say they're 6'3" and they're 5'11". That happens all the time. Don't lie. Tell the truth about your metrics, right? If you're a certain height, tell the truth about about that actual height, right? Don't fib on this stuff, because here's the deal. They're going to find out anyways. And when they find out, they're going to disqualify you, right? So the 3 lessons. 1, right? When you're on the bench, be that player that's going to be cheering on your teammates, high-fiving them when they come off, right? Be a great teammate. Number 2, clean up your social media. Make sure that social media is kosher. It's on par. You again, you don't want to lose a scholarship because of, something you posted on there that, that might have just be nonsense. And number 3, don't lie when it comes to your weight, your height, your metrics. Tell the truth, right? Character matters. And these coaches are looking for people with character, especially in today's age. So that's all. I hopefully you enjoyed us at National Signing Day on the podcast. Be sure to visit us on Instagram, visit us on socials, and you can visit us on nationalsigningdaypodcast.com to win some super, super cool stuff. So until next time, I'm Coach Martin, and I am out.
Thanks for listening to the National Signing Day Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at National Signing Day.